Hi Aquarius, so it's me Alexis. Welcome back to my astrology channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys your new moon horoscope, which is happening on August 30th in Virgo. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. If you are a Aquarius sun or rising, this is going to be the video for you. So yeah, again, let's get started. So astrologically, the new moon, like I said, is going to happen on August 30th, and it's going to be in 6 degrees Virgo. And whenever there's a new moon, the sun and moon are conjunct. And on top of this, Mars will be conjunct to the sun and moon also. So what this means with this new moon is that, with Mars coming into the mix, it's going to be really passionate, it's going to be a lot more assertive, it's going to be more direct, and, it may cause some conflicts, but hey, we might get some stuff done. So yeah, that's Mars for you guys. And then on top of that, these three planets, Mars, Sun, and the Moon, they're all going to be they're all going to be trine to the transiting Uranus and Taurus. And with that, it means that whatever is going on in the new moon is going to really have really help us have some radical grounding and stability in whatever house Taurus is ruling. So speaking of that, Aquarius, I will go ahead and kind of break it down for you guys. So Aquarius, the new moon is going to be happening in Virgo, and Virgo is ruling your 8th house, and then Taurus is ruling your 4th house. So the 8th house and the 4th house are going to be involved during this new moon. Now, with the new moon happening in your 8th house, the 8th house is the house of taxes, the house of death, debt, and power dynamics. And I think one way to really think about, the 8th house is that if the 2nd house is what you receive and what you gain, then the 8th house shows what you're losing and your losses. And this is where the new moon is happening for you, Aquarius. So with that in mind, with this new moon energy into the 8th house, I think for you, you need to really sit down and kind of have a good clarification or a critical honesty about what the heck you're giving to other people or what you're losing to other people. This could mean that maybe you owe someone some money, or maybe someone owes some money to you. Maybe there's some power dynamic in your relationships where it's a little bit ambiguous and you may feel like, it's unbalanced, it's unequal. Maybe one person is dominating the other, and you need to get that squared away, for sure. Especially if this power dynamic is specifically happening in your living situation, because again, the transiting Uranus is in Taurus, and that's going to be in your 4th house, which is the house of family and the house of upbringing. So, in your sense of comfort. So, with this new moon having in the 8th house, I feel like for you, you really have to really, be really real with yourself with what you have and what you're losing. And if you're okay with losing with that, and whether, your losses are practical and realistic, and whether the power dynamics that you're holding with someone or, some people are, practical and healthy. If they're not, then you might need to reconsider and be really, really critical about what's not working for you. Now, if you do this, it's going to be great for you, because with the trine to Uranus in the 4th house, this will really solidify, really psychologically your sense of comfort and your sense of safety, by being really honest about how your power dynamics are, or how your debt is, or whatever it could be. You can solidify and really make your living situation and your sense of comfort really stable and consistent. And because of that, this is a time for you to really get comfortable and to achieve a sense of comfort and safety that you deserve. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if lately you've been questioning your notion of safety and comfort, maybe because maybe you feel like you don't deserve it, or maybe the circumstances just don't really help you out. And I think this new moon it's going to be a great time for you to really, tackle that. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of look at your cards and see what the cards have to say. Oh my God. Ace of Wands again? A lot of us have some work to do, I guess, during this new moon. Interesting. For all the readings I've been doing lately, I feel like a lot of the same cards are like popping up. It's a little bit spooky because I like shuffle like really well. So Aquarius, here are your cards. I got the Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, Four of Cups. Okay, Aquarius. I think that it is your goal to positively embody the qualities of the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is calculative, but not manipulative with her words. She knows the right words to say. She knows her words have power, and because she knows her words have power, she does not take her mind and her words for granted. She knows her power, and she can be a little bit cold sometimes, but like overall, like with the way that she conveys her words and her thoughts, she's pretty powerful. Like this is what you need to be, and you can do this by initiating and, you know, by being more driven and more passionate, or maybe even more, you know, confronting with whatever you're going through right now. Because I feel like maybe right now you may be in a situation with certain people where you feel like, you know, it's really hard for you to really be honest about how you feel. Because you know, struggle to be honest, it's hard for you to be assertive. It's hard for you to be direct and passionate and driven, like this Ace of Wands card. And because of that, you're not really being driven, and it's really hard for you to, you know, really pretend that you're happy, because as of right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't, because you may feel like you're in a situation where you're not allowed to break free. And I will say that with the Four of Cups, like this is a warning card for my deck. My deck is telling you like, hey, I don't know what kind of beef that you have with somebody. Like, I don't know if you owe someone a lot of money or whatever. I don't know what's going on between, you know, your debts and, you know, what you are giving and taking in terms of like, you know, your relationships. But whatever it is, it's really not working, and it might be, you know, ambiguous to the point where it's, you know, unclear and dysfunctional and ultimately not positive. And, you know, with the Four of Cups, my deck is telling you, if you don't stand your ground, if you don't get some clarity, if you don't step your ground and become organized and practical with how you deal with people in terms of power dynamics, like if you don't get real about paying your debt off or whatever it could be, with the Four of Cups, you are not going to be happy in your safe space. Like, you're going to feel as if like something is always eating away at you, and because of that, you're not going to be at peace. And with the Four of Cups, I usually see a person who kind of doesn't feel motivated to do anything, a person who kind of feels helpless to do anything. So like, you know, with the Four of Cups, he's literally just sitting there like, I don't really want to do anything right now. And because of that, this is like a low achieving kind of card. And this should not be you, Aquarius. This is not going to be you. So, I mean, looking at this, like, you should be like this. You should not be like this. Like, really simply put. And if you want to be like this, then you gotta do this. So, yeah, Aquarius, be honest. Be ready to be honest. Some people are not going to be ready for you when you're honest, but at least, you know, it's your truth. And because it's your truth, then you can die knowing that, like, you know, that you were honest and authentic. Because I think that would be a much better situation than you just being passive and not really having a healthy living space. So yeah, I think like one little scenario that kind of popped up in my head when I was looking at this is that maybe, you know, maybe you're living with a roommate, or maybe, you know, you're with your family, and maybe your family or this roommate or whoever it is telling you that you owe a bunch of stuff to them, and you probably do, and you need to get that squared away. But the way that they're going about it just seems a little bit oppressive, to where they think like, oh, if this person owes me something, then, you know, because they owe me something, I can boss them around. And because of that, you might be on that end of it where you are being bossed around, and because of that, you're not really allowed to be yourself. So yeah, you know, do take care of what you owe to other people, but that doesn't justify other people, you know, bossing you around and just, you know, like dominating you. Like, that's not fair. And you gotta be fair. You gotta be honest. And yeah, so that's my spread for you, Aquarius. I hope it all resonates with you. You know, best of luck to you. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great new moon.